Hello everyone, how is everyone doing? Welcome to another vlog. Alright, so let's talk about it. Today is the 7th of July, 2024. And at this moment, I'm over at church. We have youth fellowship. So because I'm in my final semester of my postgrad, which you're probably tired hearing me say, but in the program, one of my courses, we have classes on Friday, and it's from 5:30 to 8:30. Now, I said I would have joined the class for 5:30 to 7:30, but the way that course is, the sir does it, he's very keen on attendance. And then he asks a lot of questions. He would call your name, and he would also, on Fridays, where we'd have our tutorial presentations. So, as much as I wanted to skip the last hour, I realized I'm not going to be able to. So I asked the youth ministry to change it. I asked them for it to be on, we tried Saturday, but Saturdays it's not working because people are, what do I want to say? The young people, I guess, because for years it has been youth fellowship on Fridays. So it's a cultural thing in the church that it's hard to get people any other day. We tried the Saturday, it's not been effective. We're trying the Sunday, and it's kind of working, because one Sunday, I think the first Sunday we did it, we had a good attendance, but we weren't able to have youth fellowship last week because we had a meeting at church. So we're back this week, but I don't know how many people show up. And if I tell you the truth, I have no plan, no ideas, nothing. I'm so tired. But I think sometime this week I'm going to sit and I'm going to plan out the YM sessions that we have remaining for this month and see what I can do. Because this month has, I think, four Sundays. So, and out of the 4, we're going to have YM for 3 Sundays, because we're supposed to have another physical meeting. So anyways, I'm going to plan it out. I'm going to make some time this week to plan it out and just get it done and over with. So it's all about life updates. I have to respond to the masters, people. I have not, but you know what? I'm going to do so today. When I get home from church, I have to mark, anyway, y'all know me story by now, how I start all over the place. When I get home, I have to mark out 15 SBAs. I wasn't able to hit the 100 target yesterday, so I'm going to be able to hit it today. So today I have to mark 50 more SBAs, and that will take me to 500. When I tell you God is good, He really is. And you know what, something? I got to start saying God is good even when things ain't working out, because I don't think it's fair for me to only say God is good when good things are happening. But He is good. I'm happy that every year He equips me with strategies to use to mark. So I have marked 485, and God's Prayer Life, I'll go mark with the other 50, which will take me to 500. Now, with the marking, the last update I got, I think we were at 6 or something percent. But from what I am foreseeing, that by month end, the scripts will finish by SBA. So with that, it gives me more weeks. So even if I get to mark, I would love if I could mark 1,500 more. Let's see. But even if, honestly, I'll be real with you, after I catch the goal today, my next main goal is to mark 120 more, and which is possible. When I finish marking at 120, I feel like after then, it is what it is. If I get to mark more, I get to mark more. Because, God is good, and I'm saying the blood of Jesus over everything I'm talking about, because it's really going to help me to clear my debts. And I'm a person, I like to clear up my debts. I'm going to be able to clear courts off. I'm going to be able to, this month, Gospel Life, I'm going to be able to clear off UG. So when I'm finished clearing off courts, I have some little miscellaneous things I want to get done. And then obviously I want to take a portion of my money and give to ministry. So when I'm finished with that, I'm going to sit and I'm going to strategize with what money I have left and what are the strategic things I want to do. Because out of this money, at least 100,000 I want to keep in my savings. I want to take it out of that account that they'll pay me and put it into my next account as savings, to keep that as 100 seal, not touching it. Stay right there. So let's see how God is going to do. Paper two, the supervisor has been affected by the hurricane a little because she's from Jamaica, Hurricane Beryl. So she hasn't been able to approve me yet. I did the second standardization and I got 7 out of 10 correct, which I think is good. That should work, man. I tried. I really tried. I had the rubric there. I followed it and I marked. So when I get into that, and I think it's good in a way that at least I'm still just focusing on an SBA, because when SBA is finished, I can fully give my attention to paper two. Last year I marked 510. This year I'd be happy to mark 1,000 because it's 1600. We have a lot of scripts for the question I mark. And so even if I am able to get 1,000, let me tell you, if it wasn't for seeds, marking would be like nothing to me. But because of the seeds, I take my time. School closed. The academic year ended on Friday. I returned to work on Wednesday. I didn't have nothing to do, to be honest. I just had to write a lesson plan and do some schemes. I did that. So that's done with. And for the new academic year, they gave me to be they didn't give me a class, but they gave me to be the assistant level head for grade 10. And I have 28 periods, 24 of those periods being in the English department and 4 for social studies. As you all know, my goal is to get into CPC full time. I would have messaged the individual who is like kind of working behind the scenes, trying to, as we were saying, and I'll use a little links to see how they could get me in. And I am waiting to see. I messaged them on Friday, and they said, okay, they'll get back to me. They haven't. And I'm in a phase where, let me tell you some thoughts that are going through my mind. Quite a few teachers I have heard of, they got through to teach in the US. So they're leaving soon. I got some links of persons I could message if I'm interested in teaching in the States in different parts. I also got this place, EPI, they're opening the applications for people who want to go teach in the States for not this academic year, September, but next year, September. And I'm going to be real with you all. I'm in this state and stage where I'm like, how do I structure it? The truth of the matter is, when I go to America to work, ideally, I would love for it to be to do my artistic endeavors. Which is, I've always wanted to act, and I know I have it in me. I've learned that I could write, and I want to get through ideally, I want to get through the acting job that will take me, or that will see me move from Guyana to the States, and then keep going from there. That's the ideal goal. But at the same time, I feel like, okay, I have my car. This year was September, October, something, 1 month's gonna make a year since I have the car. So obviously I have a car note I have to pay every month. And I have my contract with the government that if I want to leave the contract before the time, I would have to pay like about $1 million or just over that, right? Now, my thing is this. I'm trying to think logically, as in, if I get through the acting job, I would be able to make enough money that I could leave teaching, pay off the contract, pay off the car, and be free. Because with the car, it would be about, let's see, 5, 10. Let's say 10, 12,000 US. Let's just say that, 10 or 12,000 US. And then the loan would be, let me say 6,000 US. So 12 and 6, 24. I'm quite sure if I get an acting job, 24,000 is going to be like nothing. I'm quite sure of that, right? Especially if I get like a series, you know how they pay per episode. I'll be able to clear that out. You get my point? Versus if I get through to teach in the States, my qualm is, I know how I stay. I don't want to live with anybody. I would want, even if I got to be in a small 1-bedroom apartment, I wouldn't mind that. Because I think when I go to the States, and that's another thing, I said I don't want to live in the same state as my mom or my sister. Not that I can't stand them or anything, but I truly want an opportunity to just be by myself, to see who I am, to learn about myself. It's a goal of mine to live by myself, right? For a period of time. So I would want to be but then not a state that far away that they can't reach me in terms of traveling, right? Now, if I go there, I have to go, and it's like I'm going to be starting from the ground up. I have to make sure I got some money in my account, but when I go over there, I gotta start from the ground up. And then at the same time, I'd have to see, okay, I gotta make sure that from whatever money I'm making, I transfer some to my Guyana bank account. So when the bank is ready, they can they can get the money for the car, or I could sell the car. I wouldn't want to sell the car because truly I have my brother and my sister. My brother, he kind of like knows how to drive. My sister is getting there. And honestly, I would want to leave the car with them. But obviously, of the two, I'm going to make somebody in charge. And I would put my brother in charge of it, leave him with the car. And I'm saying that not because, oh, he's a male over her, but he has more of a handle on driving right now than my sister. So I would leave it with him, right? And whenever I come to Ghana to visit, whatever, I would just use it for the time, whatever. So truly, I wouldn't want to sell the car to anybody, right? So I'd want to keep the car. So when I'm thinking about all these things, like I am like, okay, what decision to make? If I have to wait, once again, my contract ends November of next year. Sometimes I think about, oh my God, the way my life is good, but I don't know, man. So there are times when there are times when I just want to like just learn out of the familiar. And I think the whole thing is to me, I just want to change environments. That's the real truth. I want to change environment. And I feel locked in and restricted at times. So it's like I'm asking myself, can I bear up with another year and a couple months of this? Or should I wait it out, clear out as many debts as possible? Because one of my goals would be, especially when I'm finished paying courts on UG, I buy my laptop. When my part-time lecture job start paying me more consistently, I plan to start taking the money they're paying me and start paying extra in the car. So as much as possible, every time I make an extra payment, it must be like a month's payment, so I must be advanced, right? The goal is, and there's a goal I'm writing down, that God provides finances to me that by next year, by the 2 year mark for this car, I must pay it off. So I'm saying all this to let you understand I'm in a little limbo. Because I'm like, should I apply to see if I can teach in the States next year? But then there's a part of me that is like, why don't I truly give God and myself the chance and the benefit of a doubt, work out the contract faithfully, and see what happens in that time? Because let me tell you something, I know I am creative. And the truth is, if somebody says to me, Jared, have you fully utilized or think you've done all the creative things that you could do, preparing you for this creative life you want? I would say no. You know why I would say no? I have more creative ideas to write that I didn't start yet. I have a short form movie I want to write up called Lou. I have, should I call it? The names, let me call it out. I have a like a I want to think it's like a short form movie on like the depression I faced last year, maybe. But I know the one loop. I want to write a short form series on the chaotic experiences I've had at my work, like to something. I want to write a show that feels very wicked and salacious because my work environment, putting the professional side aside, has been on in some very worthless things have happened there, right? That I have heard of. So I would want to write about that in a nice little salacious piece. What else do I want to do? So we have Lou, workplace. Yeah, and then I'm working on a collection of poetry, but I kind of paused it. And I feel like book two fragments of it have come to me. And I feel like when I should have sat down and wrote certain parts, I didn't. So the truth is, when I am officially finished with this postgrad and I submit my last assessment, I am switching gears to professional mode, to creative mode. Like I said, I'm going to start the master's next month in early September. But the master's is self-paced. When I start the course, I get 6 weeks, two assessments I gotta make sure I submit. So every week, my goal will be to set aside a day or two where I read the material and do the work they're asking of me, and that is it. So at the master, I'm not gonna use that as an excuse. I'm going to pursue it. But the main thing is to I need to settle down. So I think that's, even as I'm talking now, I feel like that's the decision I'm going to take too. Ask God for strength. You know what? There I was sitting down and I was like, oh God, a year and a year and a couple months more. And the thought came to me a couple years ago. I looked at the working out my contract as a punishment, but look how time has passed by so quickly. So it's like if I could clear out all this time I have, I could push a little more. I can tarry a little more. So I'm trying my best because I'm telling y'all something. I have to give myself the benefit of a doubt that I can possess a creative career. I can write, I know I can act, and the writer in me will be connected to the producer in me, and then over time to direct. And I want as well creatively to be able to have a platform where I can feature Guyanese artists as well. Because I think what happens, we don't have the infrastructure in Guyana to support artists. That's the truth. So artists, you gotta be like me where you know you could be an artist, but then you get a corporate job that sucks so much from you. So it's like you can't give to your creative life. Or some people actually take the leap of faith and do creativity full time, but they got to constantly hustle. So, I have a safety net that is my job, and sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I get complacent in that. And I think the infrastructure of my corporate job enforces that. But the truth is, in August, I want to unplug from social media a little. Obviously not stop posting, but like in what I'm receiving from social media, unplug from it a bit, sit and write. Review what I've written, map out, get a book, map out the outline, and start writing. And one of the things I did when I was writing my book, every day I used to commit at least 1 hour, and that's where I started back from. 1 hour of writing, because the truth is your first draft ain't gotta be perfect. Because the truth is I'm going to write, and like I've said to God before, and I'm gonna really trust my instinct, trust God and His plans, and I want my second book. So I don't want to self-publish. I want to be able to have a publisher or agency behind me, and through the agency, we get a relationship with a publisher, or I could develop a relationship with a publisher, and we fully put this book out. We have part ownership, and we put it out. Let this be a machine where I can have book placements in the US, even a few book placements in Guyana, actually go on a bigger book tour where I go on different platforms, talk about the work, connect with the writers, connect with the readers in Guyana, across the Caribbean, in America, and different parts of the world, because you never know where God can take you. But that's really what I want to do. But acting has always been something that I really want to do. So I guess one of the things I have to do as well, Guyana has this acting program, but to be honest with you all, like I feel like when I should have joined the program, I didn't. And like now, I don't want to, after this postgrad, I don't want to commit to any other thing that's going to require me to attend classes. The only classes I must be doing is the one as a teacher, my part-time job. And when the artistic life start paying me enough, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that. So that's where I am, and that's what I want to express with you all. Two last talking points. Going back to the CPC job, I'm really going to pray and trust God some more. I don't know, man. Like I really don't want to be at Anadil September. Man. I want to get out. My spirit is not at ease in that workplace. That's the truth. I want out of that workplace. I feel like I want out. And last but not least, I like I told you all about how I feel in my body. So I'm trying to get there with my health. I'm trying my best to go back into intermittent. I started it again yesterday because I always starting and stopping, and I get a headache and oh God, it wasn't easy. So I realized maybe I tried it too drastic yesterday. And that's how with me. When I want to change, I like be drastic, not realizing that you gotta start and build momentum. Now the thing is, tomorrow I want to start going to the gym. I want to go in the morning. So I want to try and go to my bed by a decent time, get up in the morning, go to the gym. The gym opens at 6, they said. I want to get up, and even if I leave my house 6:30, I go there, pay for the month, work out for 1 hour. I want to map out a workout plan tonight and go there, exercise for an hour, and I want to start going to the gym Monday to Friday. In every week in this vacation period that school is closed. If I get through my CPC job, the good thing about it, CPC is 9 to 4, but they're not rigid on what time you reach in there. So I can still get to go to gym in the morning and then go there. And the only time I'll miss gym is when I go to like camp, the 2 camps. But really, out of the 2 camps, I only want to go to one that's junior camp. I'll just be real with y'all. But that's where I'm at. And I'm happy that I'm using this posting on YouTube, even though right now nobody's viewing. like I said, this channel is for me. And if it's meant to be for others, it will be for others. But this is my journey that I'm documenting and posting. This is where I am at. Healthcare wise, yeah, I want to get rid of this belly here. This belly and this big thigh. I want to work on it, right? I want to work on it. And let's just see what God will do. So I thank you for watching this video. I thank myself for making it. And I look forward to really going back through these videos when I'm on the other side of what I'm going through and just reflect on how far I've come. I want to encourage you watching this to start documenting your life. It doesn't always have to be for others to consume, but for us. And the fact that once it goes on the internet, I believe a version of it will always exist out there. And it's us talking to God and allowing Him to just do what He has to do. So take care and be blessed.